My note was, I'm calling the cops. I need Allie Hazelwood right now. Please let me get a short song tonight. Hey y'all, welcome to a new version of Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read for a Week. I'm so excited. I have done 2 editions of this already. I did a Torture Poets Department edition, and then last month I did a Midnight's edition. What I was gonna do was go backwards in the albums, so I started with Torture Poets Department, I went on to Midnight's. So technically for this month, the next one in line is Evermore, which is my favorite. I mean, like, I love her newer albums too, like Midnight's and Torture Poets Department, like, have been on repeat since the moment they came out. But Evermore, like, I always go back to Evermore. So that is the next one in line, but since it's the month of August, I thought it would only be appropriate to do folklore, right? Like, August, folklore, like, I have to, right? Like, that's what makes the most sense, right? In case you're not aware, there is a song called August on folklore, so that's why I'm saying this, okay? Another thing is that since Evermore is my favorite, I decided to save it for next month, for September, because September is my birth month, and so I thought it would be fun to do my favorite album in my birth month. So I'm just switching the order of the 2 sister albums that came out during the 2020 COVID pandemic, and I'm excited to start it. I hope that I get August for one of these days, but if I don't, it's okay. Another really big reason why I wanted to do folklore was because for the anniversary of folklore a couple weeks ago, actually it was like almost a month ago at this point, Taylor Swift re-released the Cardigan. If you know me, you know I'm a big Taylor Swift collector. I have tons of merch. I collect so much, okay? I love collecting her stuff. And the one thing, honestly, one of the only things that I'm missing that is necessary for my collection is the original folklore cardigan. And I was able to get one. I'm so excited to open this up. It has been sitting in this room for a couple of weeks because I knew I was going to do this video, and I was like, oh, I'll open it on camera, it'll be so fun. And yeah, so I'm excited. So I'm gonna unbox this real fast. I'm gonna put the cardigan on, try it on, see how I like it, and yeah, let's go. Okay, we've got it here. I got the size XS SM, which is like extra small, small, medium, I guess. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so cute. Oh, I finally have it. I'm so excited. It's like a reprint because the OG, see, it's got this little thing right here that says Taylor Swift. I believe what I remember seeing was that the OG had folklore right here with like this little tag. It said folklore right here. So this is like obviously the reprint, but it came from the store. You know, it's authentic. Okay, I swear. But I'm literally, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna put it on. I have been waiting for this for years because it sold out so fast, and then I think that they brought it back for Black Friday, like in 2022, and I missed that drop as well. So I was able to get one today, or, you know, at the last drop. Oh my god. Oh, it's so soft. This is so comfortable. Holy cow. Oh my god. Wait, let's see. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. I'm literally in love with it. Oh, this makes me so happy. And it's light. Like, it's a cardigan. Like, it's you know, a sweater, right? Okay. I have the Torture Poets Department cardigan. I have the 1989 Taylor's version cardigan, and I have the Speak Now Taylor's version cardigan. So I have the, is it just 3? I think I just have the 3. So I am missing the red Taylor's version cardigan, and now I have the folklore cardigan to add to the list as well. But this one is like way lighter than the other ones. Like the Torture Poets Department one is thick. It's like a cable knit thick sweater. This one, I mean, this one's technically cable knit as well, but it feels lighter, even though it's like hot as hell. Okay, it's like so hot outside. So definitely I'm gonna sit in front of the AC in order to put this on so I can read today with my cardigan on. Let's go over the rules for this challenge. Here, okay, so I'm gonna spell out the rules for this challenge. I think it's gonna be basically the same as the last few times I've done this. The last time I did this, I did it for 5 days, and the first time I did this, I did it for 7 days. I believe for this challenge, I am only doing it for 5 days. That's all the time that I have available for it. So it's going to last for 5 days. If you don't know how this works, let me explain it to you. So what I'm gonna do is I have Folklore up here. Okay, I've got the deluxe version, and I'm going to shuffle the songs. I'm going to play a song. The length of whatever song it lands on is how long I read for that day. So if the song is 4 minutes and 12 seconds, I will read for 4 hours and 12 minutes that day. So I just like convert it into an hour and minute like time log, right? And that's how long I read for the day. And I just kind of update you. I try to read as many books as I can in that moment. It's also just like a way to like make sure that I'm reading every day, and reading like 3-4 hours a day is super, like I'll get a lot of reading done this week for sure with that time allotted. And it's really great that Taylor Swift loves to write and she loves to be wordy. I mean, all of her songs, they've got like a first verse, a chorus, a second verse, a second chorus, a bridge, an outro. Like she writes a lot for her songs, so her songs end up being really long, which is really fun. And that means that I get a lot of time to read, so I'm excited for that. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to say, so without further ado, let's shuffle this and pick the first song for the challenge. I'm gonna go ahead and mute it because I'm not trying to get in trouble with Miss Taylor Swift. All right, it is shuffled, and let's see what song it lands on. Exile. Oh my god, this song is so good, and it's long. How long is it? It's 4 minutes and 45 seconds, which means that I will be reading for 4 hours and 45 minutes today. That's almost 5 hours. That's so long. And oh my god, I forgot my Kindle. I don't have my Kindle with me, so I'm gonna go grab that and talk about what book I want to read. Okay, so I am currently reading She Who Became the Sun right there in the corner. I am, let me see, I'm 16% of the way through, and it says that I have 5 hours and 49 minutes left to read it. So I could pick it and like almost finish it today. I'd like finish it up tomorrow, or I might just like read past the time. Who knows, maybe it'll be so good that I'll just like want to keep reading it today, which would be great. I also really want to read Snow Globe because I am in such a dystopian YA mood lately, because Ava Reed has her next book coming out, which is going to be a dystopian YA, and also I was reminded that The Hunger Games has a new book coming out next year. I forgot that was happening. I forgot that Hey Mitch's side of the story, Hey Mitch's Hunger Games, the Quarter Quell #2 was happening. So I'm really excited to read that. And so I've been in such a dystopian YA mood, and I think that Snow Globe would be really fun to pick up to like satisfy that need that I have right now for dystopian YA. So I feel like starting it, honestly. She Who Became the Sun is very good, by the way. I'm absolutely adoring it, but it's not a book that I want to get through quickly. I want to like really salivate over it and just like really enjoy every word of it, because it's a really epic story so far, and I think that Snow Globe would be just like a fun little read. I don't know, maybe I'll be wrong about that. So yeah, I think in this moment right now, what I want to do is read Snow Globe. If it gets boring or like hits a lull and I can't get into it, I'll go back to She Who Became the Sun. Regardless, I'm reading for 4 hours and 45 minutes today. Another rule that I want to talk about, which is something that I've done in each video of these that I've done before, is that if for any reason I don't finish my time, like say I have, you know, an hour and 10 minutes left over from today, that time will be tacked on tomorrow. So it's very pertinent that I actually finish my time, because if you saw my first video of this, I think at one point I got up to like 8 hours or like 10 hours of reading time that I had to make up because I was missing my time. Like I was not finishing my time on time by the end of the day. And so it is going to be for my best interest to read for the full 4 hours and 45 minutes today, so that I don't have to tack any time on for tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm gonna start day 1 of this challenge. 4 hours and 45 minutes, I'm gonna start reading Snow Globe by So Young Park, and I'm so excited to start this folklore challenge. Hi, welcome to day 2. Good morning. So, where I left off yesterday, I had an hour and 52 minutes left to go, and I'm almost done with Snow Globe, which is really exciting. I think I'm 71% of the way through it. Yep, 71%. I have an hour and 14 minutes to go. So I'll finish that today, which is exciting. I'll have one book down and then I'll get to pick up another book, which I'm excited about. But I want to, let me give a little synopsis of Snow Globe, okay? It's interesting. It's taken a totally different turn, which I'm a little excited about because it's new, it's refreshing, it's original, it's a really great idea, and hopefully the ending will be really satisfying. But basically what this book is about, this is all, you can find this all on the Goodreads little summary, so I'm not spoiling anything. This is the summary that I found on Goodreads, okay? I'm just gonna paraphrase that. So basically, we live in a time where it's cold all the time, like negative 50 degrees, it can like get down to that cold. The only place in the world that is warm enough, that is sustainable enough to live a life like the one that we live today with, like, you know, weather and possible sunshine and stuff like that, is if you live within the Snow Globe. So the Snow Globe is kind of like a center city hub, I would say. However, if you are lucky and privileged enough to live in the Snow Globe, the caveat is that like your life could be like being filmed 24/7. Like you are reality TV if you live in the Snow Globe. So it's like, it's really interesting. There's like people who like were born in the Snow Globe, and so like their life has been recorded for everybody outside of the Snow Globe who works outside of the Snow Globe. Like since you were born, or maybe you have a reality show where you're like a serial killer, or maybe you have a reality show where you're like a cooking star, like you're a cutthroat cooking star, and then your life is just like recorded all the time. There's cameras everywhere, and the people who live outside the Snow Globe, Pancake, chill out. The people who live outside the Snow Globe, they put in labor every day to create power. So basically it's like you're working on a hamster wheel to create power for the Snow Globe, and the Snow Globe is recording reality TV content to keep you occupied while you're at your shift at the hamster wheel, creating power for the Snow Globe. Okay, you know what I mean? And of course they like generate power for themselves and for their own communities and everything, but a lot of the power apparently goes to the Snow Globe. So it's a funny like little society for sure. I'm enjoying it, definitely. For our main character, her world changes when her favorite reality TV star dies, and she has been offered to take the place of this girl. And so she, you know, enters Snow Globe. She learns more about Snow Globe. She learns more about the politics of the people who live in Snow Globe. You know, she has managers now. There's like cameras following her every move. It's like, it got interesting, like I said. There was like a plot twist, which is pretty cool. I have an hour left. Like I'm gonna finish it pretty quickly. I'm excited to get back into it. It's flowing really quickly, by the way, as well. Like if you want a fast little like dystopian science fiction read, it would be really easy to knock out in a day for sure, just a couple of hours. But without further ado, let's pick the next song for Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read for a Week, Folklore Edition, okay? I have it up here. I'm really hoping one of these days we get August, since we're in the month of August, and that was the whole point of doing folklore in August. Like it would be cool to get August, so I don't know, we'll see. We got This Is Me Trying. Oh my god. This song is 3 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, wait. I said that backwards. This song is 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which means that I will be reading for 3 hours and 15 minutes today. That's good. That will definitely be doable. I was afraid I'd get another like 5-hour one, and I, you know, because I still have like basically 2 hours left to go. So let me add that together. Okay, so 15, so 57, so 07, so 207, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7. Oh wow, 5 hours, 7 minutes. Is that right? Wait, let me double check that math. Well, the day added up to being 5 hours and 7 minutes anyway. Oh my god, I didn't know that it would add up that much. It would be cool if I could finish 2 books within this time. I don't know. I'm so bad about reading uninterrupted. So yesterday we got Exile, today we got This Is Me Trying. Even just like saying these track names makes me want to go stream Folklore in full right now because it's such a good album. I'm definitely going to finish Snow Globe today within this time, and I'm excited to get on with my next clip so that we can pick another book, because I'm sure that'll be the next one, so I'll see you there.
What? What the heck?
Hey y'all, I just finished Snow Globe, and was anybody gonna tell me it was a duology? Like, when was I? Oh my gosh, I love being caught by surprise with that when like I think it's just a standalone book, but it turns out there's gonna be another one, or it's actually a series and I didn't think it would be. So yeah, Snow Globe is a duology, and that's gonna be pretty cool. They left it off with like a good enough cliffhanger, like a good enough intrigue to get you excited for the second book. So I mean, I'm excited. I thought that overall it was really unique. It has a lot of different kinds of science fiction-y like lore to it. I don't know how else to explain it like without giving it away. There's just like, it's not just, oh, we're in this freezing cold tundra where like reality TV is the only thing that is ever televised and people work to be able to watch the reality TV because they're the people in the reality TV are the people who are actually being taken care of by the government. They don't live in these freezing cold temperatures and everything. It's like the concept of reality TV being like everyone's driving force was really interesting. They explain a lot of like the different kind of shows that they would watch on TV. Like there's like this one girl who's like a serial killer, and like the cameras just follow her around while she's being a serial killer, and that's like a whole show. Like it's very realistic and it's very, I don't know, it was really interesting. It was definitely like a cool futuristic look on how humanity can evolve to be so like not empathetic. The plot twist was good because it kept evolving. It wasn't just like, oh, the other shoe has dropped and now here's this crazy thing to deal with. It was like a snowball effect of like the other shoe would drop and the plot twist would like thicken, and then like something else would get revealed and it would thicken even more. Like it was a continuous story within the plot twist, and I thought that that was really cool. Also, Snow Globe is translated, it's Korean, and I think that that's really cool because I have not read many if any translated books that I know about, and that is definitely like a goal of mine, is to read more books from other countries. So that was cool, you know, a book from Korea. That's not something I've read before. I thought that once we get to like the action of the climax, like we are like gearing up for kind of a fight. It's a dystopian YA. We've got to go against the system, you know how it goes. So once we're like gearing up for the fight to, you know, take down the people in the system that have hurt our main character plus many others, it was like a little underwhelming, I guess. Like the journey to get there was definitely really cool. We meet some cool characters and some familiar characters along the way that wraps up like their stories really well, I think. But then once we're actually there in the action, it was just like, oh, we did it or we didn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? There wasn't, I don't know, I guess I wanted more from it, but it's fine. At the end of the book, it was pretty interesting because like the book ends and then there's an epilogue. And then after the epilogue, there were like 2 more bonus chapters about other characters that were in the book. And that was really cool. And then it's like the page that's like, look out for the duology, look out for the second book. So it's like, oh, okay, because you're reading these extra chapters and you're like, why are we here? Why are we hearing their perspective right now? One of the bonus chapters was really cool because throughout like the second half of the book, it's like, oh, where's this one character the whole time? And that is like something that doesn't get tied up throughout the book, but then in the bonus chapter it gets tied up. And I thought that that was a really cool, unique way to keep the reader guessing and keep the reader thinking like, oh, well, there's a plot hole here, but then she actually like fixes it up right there at the end. I thought that that was cool. I think overall, part of me wants to give it 3 stars because it did not stand out to me as like, oh, this is amazing, I'm devouring every word on the page, like the prose is amazing, I love the characters. And it also was a little underwhelming at parts. So like maybe if it had a better conclusion, a better climax, I would have given it 4 stars, or something like really epic happens, I would have given it 4 stars. Or if I had just liked the writing a little bit more, I would have given it 4 stars. But because it was just a very good, solid book with nothing like really extra to write home about, you know, I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars, which is still a good rating. It was still a good book and I enjoyed it, and I'm totally gonna read the second one. Okay, so I have 4 hours and 10 minutes to go, and here comes my favorite part. We gotta pick another book. Okay, so I was looking at this earlier by myself and I'm not sure which one I'm gonna pick. So I have The Love Hypothesis, and I was also looking at Titus Grown. The Love Hypothesis is like a contemporary like rom-com. Ali Hazelwood is super popular in the contemporary romance game, and I read her book Bride and I didn't love it, but it was fun to read, and I feel like The Love Hypothesis will be the same, even though I think it was her first, so it might not be as good, but I'm excited. I want to see it's like a fun read. It'll be a fun read. But then also Titus Grown, this is like a fairy tale book. I'm not for sure anything about it. I just know that Ava Reed has recommended it on more than one occasion, and I really trust her recommendations. So I think I'm gonna pick it up. I think I'm gonna go with Titus Grown. This is by Mervyn Peake. I literally have no idea what to expect. Fairy tales is what I think it has to do with it, but I literally have not even read a synopsis. I have no idea. I just have her recommendation and that's all I'm gonna live by. Okay, so I'm gonna go read. I'm gonna start Titus Grown and I'll let you know how it goes. Hey y'all, welcome to day 3. So I finished my time. I'm so excited. I was able to read for 5 hours yesterday and I finished my time. I am still reading Titus Grown. Let me tell you guys something. Surprise, surprise, some of you may know this, but when I lie down to read, I tend to read slower than I do when I'm in an upright position, sitting up straight, reading my book. Who knew that if I'm laying down on my side, I would fall asleep faster and get through books much slower. That is something that I found out because I was reading this book. Okay, I had 5 hours to read it yesterday. And the first like 2-3 hours go by and I'm like, wow, this is a slow book. I am not getting through this book today, that's for sure, because yeah, I got up to like 30% and it took me like 4 hours to get to 30%, and then I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get out of bed. And this was obviously throughout the course of like several hours yesterday. Like I would take a break and then come back and take a break and come back, and then finally for the final like 2 hours, like hour and 45 minutes left of the day, of like the time for my day, I decided to sit up and read, and wow, I went through 20% in 2 hours. So that's pretty funny. It took me 4 hours to read 30% and then only less than 2 hours to read 20%. So I am currently 50% of the way through Titus Grown. It is really good. Like, I have to say that first and foremost that the writing is absolutely phenomenal. It's very descriptive, like almost too descriptive, but it's not getting on my nerves at all. He's using a lot of words to say something very simple, but like I said, I don't find it annoying. I just find it very educated, honestly, to be able to use that many words to say what you're trying to say. Like, I don't have that kind of vocabulary. I could only wish to ever have that kind of vocabulary. And Titus Grown, it's good. So basically it's like there's this royal family who lives, see, I don't know the names. Okay, they live in Gormancast. Is that how you say it? Gormancast? That's like the castle that they live in. And it's very like hard to leave the castle. It's very hard to get into the castle. A baby boy has just been born. He is to be the heir and his name is Titus, and that's the name of the book, Titus Grown. Their last name is Grown. He has an older sister named Fuchsia, and then he has his mother, he has his father. His mother wants nothing to do with him, so the nurse Slag takes care of him, and she went into like the town to go get a wet nurse because she's like older and so she couldn't be the wet nurse. So she goes to get this young woman and her name is Keda, and we're getting more of Keda's story now. There is another person. What's his name? Hold on. Steerpike. He seems to kind of be the main character right now. He was like hired to work at the kitchens, but then he just like left. He's like, I don't want to work in the kitchens. And he is kind of just like talking and intertwining himself into all these different people in the castle, all these different like lords and ladies and just like servants who are of higher standing. And he's just kind of, I don't know, he feels like a scammer to me. He feels like I can't trust him, and it feels like he's just got something bigger up his sleeve, but we haven't really figured it out yet. Like I said, I'm 50% of the way through the book, and I don't feel like a lot has happened. I feel like it has been a lot of words and very little story. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the book is gonna go. It might not be a very fruitful book because it is a trilogy and it's the first in the trilogy. So I would be willing to bet that more of the action is gonna happen in the later books, and this book is just to set it all up, but that's okay. So I have 4 hours and 47 minutes left in the book. So if I get a long enough song today, I'll definitely finish it. I feel like since today is day 3 and I only have 2 days to go, I might extend this challenge to 7 days. I might make it a 7-day reading week instead of a 5-day reading week, which is what I did last month. Yeah, so we'll see how I feel, because I have only read one book so far, and if I get a short song today, I won't be finishing this book today. I will be finishing it with tomorrow's time. So which would be day 4, so that means that I'm only reading like 2 to 3 books in this challenge in this week, and I would like to present more for you guys. So I'm thinking about extending this folklore day challenge to 7 days, and also with 7 days I get a better chance at picking August as one of the songs, which it's the month of August, so that would be really cool if that worked out for me. So okay, yeah, without further ado, let's pick the time for today and see how long I will be reading. Okay, it is all set up here, it is shuffled, and let's see what song we pick. Betty! Betty! Hi! Aww, this song, ooh, oh my god! I'll get to finish Titus Grown today, most likely, because Betty is 4 minutes and 54 seconds long, which means that I will be reading for 4 hours and 54 minutes today. So another 5-hour day, yay! I'm so glad that I finished my time for yesterday, because imagine if I had like 3 hours left, I'd have to read for 8 hours today. I don't think I could do that today. All right, I'm gonna get back into Titus Grown. We have just under 5 hours to go for today, and hopefully I'll finish it, and then I'll catch you guys in the next clip and be able to talk about it, see how I liked it. Hi, welcome to day 4 of Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read Folklore Edition. I think that's the first time I've said this in this video, actually, which it's something that I try to say every day during these challenge videos where Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read, right? Anyway, okay, so it's day 4. I finished Titus Grown. I'm absolutely obsessed with the cover. Sorry for the glare. I love the cover so much, and I'm sure it looks so much better in color. This is obviously just black and white. Anyway, Titus Grown, it is a trilogy. I think that this is one of the most well-written books I've read this year. Is that a correct sentence? I don't know. I will forever be thankful to Ava Reed for recommending this book on Instagram. It's like a fantasy, but also it's more about the political power and kind of rise to the top that is tried through some of these characters. Basically, Titus, he is the son of the king and queen. They're called like the Lord and the Countess. They own Gormencost, I believe that's how you say it, which is the castle that all of the characters live in. There is a huge cast to this book. There is a maid, there is Titus's older sister, there's Steerpike, who is the villain. There are 2 twins who are like the aunts. There's a lot of people here, okay? I think that the one downside to the book, which is not a legitimate downside, I just think that it's a downside for this challenge, is that it is extremely wordy. I mean, it took me, what, like 2 days to get through this book? Yeah, I think that if I had not been, because I was rushing a little bit. I was rushing just a little bit. I mean, I had time, okay? I still had 40 minutes left over from yesterday when I finished the book, and I thought, oh, whatever, I'll just add it to my time tomorrow because I'm done with the book. I don't feel like reading anything else for the rest of the day because Titus Grown took it out of me, okay? I'm gonna give you an example of how wordy this book is. Okay, so he's trying to explain that it's hot outside. Okay, this is a whole paragraph at the beginning of this chapter. This is near the end of the book, by the way, but he is just telling us and describing to us how hot it is outside. Here's how he describes it. Little gusts of fresh white air blew fitfully through the high trees that surrounded the lake. In the dense heat of the season, it seemed they had no part, so distinct they were from the sterile body of air. How could such thick air open to shafts so foreign and so aqueous? The humid season was split open for their every gush. It closed as they died like a hot blanket, only to be torn again by a blue quill, only to close again, only to open. It was hot outside. There was like little gust of air that was coming through, like that. All of those words just to say that that's how dense this book is. So when I tell you it is very well written and I really enjoyed it, I do think that it was a bad book to pick for this challenge because it was strenuous to get through, that's for sure. The one critique I think I will mention for Titus Grown is that there is some outdated language, so like be aware of that. If you are someone who either is or has a loved one who is a little person or mentally challenged in any way. There is language in this book that is extremely outdated, some slurs that are used for these groups of people, so I just want you to be aware of that in case that is something that you're just like, absolutely, I will not read anything with that kind of language in it. I get it, and I just like, I didn't want to leave the review without mentioning that, okay? So keep that in mind. I still ended up with 40 minutes left on the clock, which was great, but it did take me 2 days to finish. So we are on day 4. I originally said that I wanted to, I'm gonna move the camera down here. I originally said that I wanted to make this a 5-day challenge, and I have not made my little sheet yet because I wasn't for sure if I was gonna make it 5 days, because I hated that I spent so long on Titus Grown. I was like, I'm gonna only end up reading only like 3 books for this reading vlog, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make something with a lot more substance for you guys. So I'm going to write out 7 days on here. That doesn't mean that it's going to get to day 7, because the month is almost over and I still have to edit and upload this. Okay, this will definitely be like a last minute end of the month video. Hello, August 31st, I see you in my future. Anyway, I am like rambling way too much. I want to pick the next song for day 4, and I want to pick the next book because I am ready to take a break from the wordiness and the mouthiness that was Titus Grown. I do think that I will enjoy the second book a lot more. I just want to say that because this first book, it seemed like a lot of setup, and I think that the second book will be a lot more action, hopefully, and I would like to see that. That's not to say though that the action in Titus Grown was not pleasurable, because it definitely was. It definitely was a crazy book. There were like crazy fights, and with how wordy and well detailed it was, you can just imagine how well those fights were written. I mean, literally pages and chapters on the fight, and it's intense. Like, it gets really good. So anyway, okay, so we have turned the volume off so that Taylor Swift does not sue me. Okay, so I have shuffled it. Let's pick the next song from Folklore and see how long I'm gonna be reading today. Oh, we already did Betty. We got Betty again. Let's try again. Let's pick again. My Tears Ricochet. I don't think I've done My Tears Ricochet. Let me double check that. Okay, nope, we have done Exile. This is me trying Betty, and now My Tears Ricochet. Which, how long is this song? 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So I'm gonna be reading for 4 hours and 15 minutes plus an extra 40. So I'm gonna be reading for like 5 hours today. It's fine, it's fine. Another 5-hour day. We can do it, we can make it work. What do I want to read today? Honestly, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna let my mind take a break. I am going to pick up The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I'm so excited to see what all the girlies are talking about. I honestly just need a palate cleanser. I need a cute, funny little rom-com. I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up giving this like 4 or 5 stars, even if it doesn't deserve it, just because the break that my brain needs from devouring Titus Grown. I think I'm gonna really enjoy The Love Hypothesis, whereas if I were just reading it on a normal day after reading, I don't know, a silly, funny, goofy fantasy book, I probably could see myself disliking The Love Hypothesis, but right now it's what I need, okay? I need Ali Hazelwood right now, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna start reading The Love Hypothesis, and I'm gonna fill this out, and then I'm going to read for 4 hours and 55 minutes today, and I'll catch you guys up as I do that. Y'all, I'm 50 pages in and I'm eating it up. I am eating it up, okay? Literally, like, it's fun. It's so fun. And I know it's Raylo fan fiction, and it's fine, okay? They both happen to be hot, and I happen to love hot people, okay? So yeah, I am very much enjoying this book so far. Literally only 50 pages in, but the dialogue is great. The banter is so fun. It looks like it's gonna be like a fake dating trope, which has never been my favorite, but I don't care. I'm having so much fun already with this book, so hopefully it can stay like this for the next 300 pages. Yeah. Hi. Confession time. Okay, so currently it is 1:19 a.m. it's technically day 7, or maybe day 7 already passed us. I am coming to you from the future to tell you that this challenge almost failed, okay? I finished, what is the name of the book? It's clearly been a long day. I finished The Love Hypothesis, okay? I finished it on day 4 and I still have kept my time. I've like written it down and I just put it back to today. So it's, I had, 26 minutes left to go, okay? And then I was gonna add that on to day 5. Well, I can't talk. Basically, here's the gist. I am going on vacation in 12 hours. I'm literally leaving in 12 hours. No, I haven't packed. Yes, I have been working since 8 a.m. this morning. It's fine. It's okay. I like being busy. The thing is, I want to finish this. I don't want to leave for vacation for a week without finishing and uploading this video. So we're gonna keep it short. We're gonna keep it sweet. I'm going to pick another song. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna pick another song, see what the next song in the Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read For folklore edition, okay? I'm gonna put it down as day 5, okay? And I'm literally just gonna see how long I can go. Like I said, I've literally been working all day today and I really don't want to leave without finishing this video, and I didn't want to scrap it because I did 4 days of it. It's just like the timing did not time very well this month and it's completely my fault, but I did this to myself and I'm still doing this to myself and it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna stop talking because I want to get on with it, and we are going to pick the next song for day 5, even though it's not really day 5, but you know what I mean, okay? You get it. Please let me get a short song tonight. You guys like my folklore shirt? Let's go. Moment of truth. How long are we reading tonight? Invisible String. Good song. Very cute song. 4:12. Taylor Swift. Someone take her pen away. Someone literally go take the pen out of her hand. Just kidding. Please don't. Like, please don't. Just leave her alone. Please leave her alone. Okay, so 4 minutes and 12 seconds. That means for tonight, I will be reading for an additional 4 hours and 12 minutes plus the 26 minutes that I had left over from the other day. Oh, I never talked about the Love Hypothesis. Oh my god, let's talk about the Love Hypothesis. And you know what? Because I don't want to be absolutely insane, I'm gonna let this time run down while I'm talking about it. I'm gonna count this as my time, okay? Because it makes sense, okay? So the Love Hypothesis. Okay, first of all, it was the perfect palate cleanser after I had read Titus Grown. It's a rom-com, it's funny, it's silly, it's goofy, and it's literally Raylo fic, which if you don't know what that is, I am not here to explain it to you. It's too late, okay? You gotta go figure that one out on your own. But it's published Raylo fic, which I think is great. Good for her, good for them, good for those people that like that coupling, that pairing. I love that for you so much. I definitely don't hate it. I get it. What's not to get, okay? It is focused around this boy and this girl who are in STEM. Okay, she is doing her PhD and he is a teacher at the Stanford. That's where they go, Stanford, yes. Okay, I'm trying to remember. And they decide to enter into a fake dating relationship, which is cute and it is successful. I don't like that trope, as you've heard me say many times on this channel, but I don't like that trope because usually they fake date for like one date, like 25 pages, and then they're macking on each other. So for me, it like hardly ever works. For this book, it definitely worked because the fake dating lasted till like 70%. Like it was actually more than 70%. I would say closer to 80%, honestly, because they still had miscommunication issues all through. Or is that communication issues? Is miscommunication issues technically the wrong? Anyway, I definitely enjoyed it. I think that I do enjoy Allie Hazelwood's books. Like, I enjoy her storytelling. I enjoy her characters a lot. I don't enjoy her smut. It's like sometimes like I'll be reading a sentence and I'm like, oh yeah, like that's hot, and then the next sentence it's like the most grotesque thing I've ever heard in my life, and I'm like, why would you write that? Why would you write that? Who is the audience? Who is enjoying this? I'll play you a little snippet in a minute, okay? I think that Olive tended to be kind of annoying, like just like dumb. Like sometimes they would do dumb things, like for instance, they're fake dating, they're on their first date and he is trying to pay for her coffee in front of the cashier and she's like, no, you can't pay for my coffee. We're fake dating. And I would never let someone who's fake dating me pay for my coffee. And like, they're supposed to be keeping up this ruse that they're fake dating. Like, they chose the coffee shop because they knew that a lot of students and teachers and other Ts would be there. So like, why she's putting on the show of like, I would never let anyone who's fake dating me pay for my coffee. Girl, like, keep it enclosed. Like, keep it, like, the cashier's right there. Like, she's waiting for one of you to hand her the card so that she can pay for the coffee and help the next person in line. Like, and you're over here spilling the secret that you're not supposed to be, like, girl, what? Like, there's people behind you, there's people around you. It was very not professional, and sometimes things like that would happen where I'm just like, girl, like, think about it. Like, think about what you're saying right now. When we get to the eventual sex scene, which I think this is true in Ali Hazelwood's books. I've only read 2, okay, but in the 2 that I've read, it's true that we get like a lot of buildup. There's a lot of longing and yearning, which I totally love, which like collapses into this one sex scene, and the book will only have one sex scene. Like, towards the end of the book, I remember in Bride, it was literally like the last chapter they had sex in. I was like not expecting it to happen. When it happened, it came to me like at such a surprise, because he just like kind of suddenly grabs her hand and puts it on his groin, and it's like, oh, like, I was not expecting him to be that forward, because in the book they talk a lot about consent, and like it like is kind of like a running joke between them, because she kind of kissed him without his consent early on, so he always like teases her about that. But then like suddenly they're talking about having sex, and he just grabs her hand and like places it on his person, and it's like I get why that would be hot, and that's fine, but it came out of such left field. Like, I mean, they were talking about sex, and she did want to have sex with him, so like, it's fine. But I just like, I as the reader was taken by shock, because I didn't think that he would be like that, because he has shown that he's like the super gentleman who is like always very cautious of her feelings and how he is around her. So anyway, Ali Hazelwood smut is very cringy, and literally, like, some of these sentences that I read, I will never get out of my head, and not in a good way. The only one that I highlighted, there were plenty I could have highlighted. The only one I highlighted though, because it was such a shock, because it's literally the first line on the next page. So like, they're like kissing and like, you know, getting close and all this stuff, and then you go to the next page, and the sentence is, he could fit her entire breast in his mouth, all of it. My note was, I'm calling the cops. Please, if you can do that, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, maybe if the breast is small enough, it's not that serious, but I just imagined like him unhinging his jaw, like yeah, okay, it's really late. I have finished what is this book called? The Love Hypothesis. I have finished it, and I'm gonna pick another book. I will say I want to give it a high score, like a 3 or a 4, because the girlies were right. Okay, they said this was a good book. This has a really high rating on Goodreads. It has over 1 million reviews and ratings, or is it just ratings? I think it's over 1 million ratings on Goodreads. That's so impressive. There aren't many books that can say that, especially that have been like written in the last 10 years. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it was like a good read. I did love the women in STEM representation. I thought that she navigated that super well. Like, obviously she's like, the author's a woman in STEM herself, so that's definitely cool. A lot of like talk about academia and like just like being in school, and I love that. I love that so much. So my only problem is that the smut is just makes me laugh, it makes me giggle, it makes me uncomfortable, and not at all sexy. Okay, I think because I need something that's going to keep me awake. I have 4 hours to go, 5 hours to go. Okay, I just went through my Kindle, and I honestly don't want to read anything that I have on here. I was looking at Bunny, because it's like a thriller. It's like a weird girl thriller, which is definitely a genre I enjoy reading, but I don't think it'll keep me awake. I looked at these 2. I looked at the Jasad Heir and Legendborn, which are like fantasy books, but I think they're YA. And I read the synopses, like I skimmed them, and they really didn't sound as interested to me as I would want them to be to keep me awake. I don't want to read another romance. The only thing that I think will keep me interested, that will keep me awake for the next 4.5 hours, I have Stephen King, The Dark Half. I have never read a Stephen King book before. I have tried to read like 2 or 3 of them. When I was really young, I tried to read one and it just like freaked me out too bad. I literally couldn't handle it. It was like very violent, like a man was very violent to a woman, and I just like, I couldn't handle it. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna read this. And then I tried to read Cujo, and I just like, I wasn't in the reading space back then, so I never picked it back up. But The Dark Half, it sounds a little interesting. It's like a guy, there's like murders happening in his area, and it kind of seems like maybe he's committing them, but he's like has no recollection of it, or maybe it's someone he knows that's committing the murders. I don't know, but I think it'll be really thrilling, and hopefully the writing will keep me like really engaged and wanting to keep reading for the next 4.5 hours. So yeah, I'm going to, at that time now, I'm going to write it in here, and then I'm gonna get to reading. We have reached the 2-hour mark. It is 4:06 a.m. I'm okay. I'm definitely nodding off here and there. I am 35% of the way through The Dark Half. It's not very good. I'm not really enjoying it, but I'm just gonna keep reading it for the next 2 hours and close out this challenge. Good morning. I say good morning because it's 6:07 a.m. right now. I leave for vacation in 7 hours. I still have to pack, and I still have to edit and upload this video. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna be okay. So I got 60% of the way through The Dark Half. Basically the quickest synopsis of all time, because there's like not a lot going on in this book, is that there is a writer. He published a few books, but they didn't do very well. Like, they weren't popular, they didn't make a lot of money. He decided to start writing these like horror, crime, really violent books under a pseudonym. So like, it's a different name, right? Apparently when he would write under the pseudonym, when he would be writing those kind of books, he became a different person in the household. His wife didn't like the person that he became. I guess he became like really distant, maybe like a little angry, but she confirms that he never like hurt her or did anything like really violent or anything while he was writing these books. But he decided after like the 4th book, I believe, to kill off the main character of those books, therefore like killing off the pseudonym. They had like a mock funeral for it, like his publishing company did this whole thing, and it was like, oh, now he's gonna go back to writing the books that he regularly writes and everything, and he's hoping that he can use the success from that pseudonym to help the work that he really wants to be writing, right? Well, there have been a lot of murders happening in the town, and basically literally what's happened is that the pseudonym, like the alter ego, has manifested into a person and is going around town like killing people. And it's like, you know, it's Stephen King, so the gore and the violence of it all is written like well, like I'm not bothered by it. However, the story is just like so boring. Like, that's literally the premise. Like, I'm 60% of the way through and nothing else has happened. They're just trying to catch this guy. They're finding out that there is a lot of similarities between twins, in that like, if a twin like bruises its arm, the other twin will have a bruise on the arm as well. So both of these guys, right, like our main guy and then the pseudonym that's manifested into a person, they are both like getting hurt in the same areas. So I'm sure that that's going to be like the end of the book, is that one of them will have to like kill the other. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is that I finished Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read for a Week Folklore Edition. I only made it to 5 days, and that's fine because that was my original goal. I was just hoping to do 7 if I had the time, and I didn't have the time. So let's go over this. Book 1, Snow Globe. I think that Snow Globe was really fun, but I did not like the ending so much, like the climax of it. I I don't know, I just like wasn't interested in the story anymore by that point. However, it's a duology, and I do think that the ending sets it up for a good duology, and I'm excited to see where they go from there. The second book I read was Titus Grown. This book, it took me 2-3 days to read. It was so good. It was like the wordiest book I've read all year, like probably one of the most well-written books I've read all year as well. I feel like that will be a book that I could reread time and time again, and I wouldn't get sick of it. I wouldn't get tired of the story. I would only learn the story better, and that would be something cool that I would want to do. I definitely am very excited to read the rest of the trilogy. The third book I read was The Love Hypothesis, which was so fun, like such a palate cleanser. I mean, honestly, like the cringy smut aside, I really enjoyed the banter. I thought that both the characters were really charming in their own ways. You know, I thought he was hot, I thought she was cute. It confirmed to me that I think I will like a lot of Ali Hazelwood's books, which is exciting because I don't have like a favorite romance author or anything like that, and I think that it would be cool if I read more of Ali Hazelwood's books. I think she comes out with like 1 or 2 books a year. Like, she writes like crazy, and I think that, yeah, I'll definitely put a lot more of her books in my to be read list. And then the fourth book, we have The Dark Half, which I'm 60% of the way through. So I didn't quite finish it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna get a high rating unless the ending is crazy. Unless I get really impressed by the ending, it's gonna get like 1 or 2 stars, and that's okay. Like, I'm just not enjoying it, and I also don't think that Stephen King really is the writer for me. I don't love his writing. Anytime I've ever read it, I've become like very bored by it. Like, he's just not the kind of horror writer I like. So yeah, that was Taylor Swift Tracks Choose How Long I Read for a Week Folklore Edition. Oh, that doesn't even say folklore. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Good night.